So I've mentioned this before, but this was another thing. This was another signal um, that I'm looking for is the noon hour. Prior to that big run up in June, for a lot of the month of May, in the noon hour, usually we would see runs. Typically, we could easily see, a 50 cent to $1 move um, in the noon hour, and it was a pretty big move. So that's kind of what I'm looking for similarly. Even just if it's 25 cents, I don't care. Just something in the noon hour to start pushing the buying pressure up, because you do have the lunchtime lull in the stock market, and it's usually around noon that a lot of the, hedge funds and whoever go on break. Of course, you have a lot of computers doing the trading and shit still, but either way, uh, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for retail to step in when there's less eyes on it and, do a little bit of damage. So that's one other thing that I'm looking to see come back into this environment. Um, it was very common. We used to literally wait for it. A lot of us would buy contracts and shit in between 11:30 and noon in anticipation for a nice little gap up. And a lot of times it would just follow suit with that. 1 o'clock would roll around, and then you'd start getting some more intense selling pressure on it. But by that point, from noon, seeing that gap up, because you don't see that a lot. Again, most of your action happens in here, big action, and then you have, steady ups and steady downs. So when the afternoon rolls around and you see something moving in the afternoon, it just draws the attention of a lot of people. And that's what would usually end up triggering us in the 1 to 2 o'clock hour, getting into a fucking battle like what was kind of starting here against the selling pressure and shit. So that's another thing I'm looking for. I would love to start seeing again sometime soon, is that buy pressure in the noon hour. It wasn't always like right at noon, but it was within the noon hour between 12 and 1. There would be a lot of buy pressure here. So I'm still waiting to see that come around. And it may not come around like that again, but I kind of feel like it will, because everything has all just kind of started tail spinning back to the environment prior to the June 2nd run up. It's slowly but surely getting back to how it was. But again, does not mean that is going to be something that comes back and plays a factor in any sort of big gap up again, if we have another one. But that's something else I'm looking for. So if it ends up happening in the coming week or so, one of these days, I might get a little T-jacked a little bit. But until that day, just going to keep looking at this thing as a profitable play for the day. And, Monday already looks good. It's 2 Mondays in a row where it has been profitable in the first hour of the day. So hopefully that trend continues. But we'll see where we get by the end of the day. I really am shocked they had to go this route to get it down to 36. I just really am. You remember when it used to just be this would get hit, and then you'd get a bullshit green Doji-ish candle, and then it would just get fucking slammed again, and then a little bullshit green, and then slammed again. So there's no denying that that whatever the fuck they were capable of doing before, they either are out of ammo or that it's just too expensive. One or the other, whether it's the margin call shit, like I said, that it's just made this ridiculously expensive for them to short, or there's just not enough shorts for them to do it. Like I said, I know there's evidence and shit out there showing that, Citadel's unwinding positions in AMC and GME. They still have a significant amount of calls and puts, but I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. But I'm curious to see if this ends up just riding the line here. Because that's kind of what I figured. They want to keep it around 36. They want to keep it close to 35. It doesn't have to be right at 35. They could keep it in between 36 and 37. And I'm sure they could get a hold of enough shorts or do something. They did it, like I said, last Wednesday or Thursday. Kicked that shit right fucking down. Under 35, opening up the day. Um, I get excited for a minute, looking like I thought it was going to start hitting a run. Mm, mm, mm. Dude, if we get a big fucking blown up candle in this bitch, it's fucking trying. It's trying. Yeah, man, fuck. Like, we need like morning volume at that time. Not enough. We need like 200, 300,000 in volume coming through at the noon hour. But, whatever. We don't necessarily have to get that again. It was just, another signal that heading in the right direction. Uh, but either way, we're just focused on the profitability of it. That's it. Profitability of it is all that's important right now. And then hopefully we wake up one day, and if we had investments from the day before carrying over or whatever, or if we're in a long contract environment, which I feel like we are definitely approaching. Some other people believe we're already there, which may be the case. I'm just, still trying to be cautious because witnessed a lot of fuckery in the last 2 months. So, who knows? Who knows what these motherfuckers do? Go and buy like long contracts here, and then we start running up, and then all of a sudden, fucking some dumb shit happens. So, I don't know exactly how I feel about the super long contracts that like Trey was talking about. Like if you want to buy out to fucking January and shit and all that.